You're recording.
All right. My name is Celeste Salerno, and I'm a mother, student, a worker, and a voter. Now, I have a lot of important things in my life that take up time, resources, and energy, such as my expanding family, my job, my schoolwork, and my home, just to name a few. But one thing anyone who knows me well will tell you is that I am a hardcore American voter. Now, why am I a voter? One reason, the November 7th, 2000 presidential election. Remember when former President George W. Bush was running against Al Gore and the country didn't find out for days after who our next president was going to be? Well, I did. I turned 18 on November 8th, 2000, exactly one day after the election. I missed being able to vote in that historic election by just one day. On the day I turned 18 and became eligible to vote, our country still did not have a president-elect. My vote could have made a real difference. My vote would have mattered. Ever since that day, I've taken my right to vote seriously, very seriously. I never miss an election, no matter how small. I even vote in tiny Baraboo City referendums regarding school, city board policies, educational committee appointments. So today I'm going to tell you why I firmly believe that Americans should exercise the right to vote with greater frequency. Voting is the cornerstone of our American democracy. It gives you a chance to have your voice heard. The way in which a person votes can help dictate great change, no change, change for the better, and change for the worse. The right to cast a ballot for an elected official is the key to maintaining a democratic society. When President George W. Bush sent the United States to establish a democracy in Iraq, one of the first efforts made to help establish a democratic government was establishing the right to vote for the Iraqi people. Throughout history, it has become clear that voting is essential to a working, thriving democracy. Without the right to vote, people can never truly have a say in how their government works. The United States government was built on the foundation of a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Of course, not every single individual in a country can be in government, nor wants to be in government. In fact, most Americans today would probably say the life of an elected politician wouldn't be the life for them. Americans' current disenchantment with our government would prove that point. Truth is, if every American got to make a decision on how our country was run, nothing would get done. Instead, Americans are given the opportunity to elect a representative to speak on their behalf. Having a voice in our modern government is important. Voting means having a say in who your elected representative is, and your vote is critical to influencing the choices and decisions made by those elected representatives. Those in power have the ability to affect your day-to-day life through the political and social changes they make while in office. If you don't vote, you are essentially giving up your chance to speak out on how you want those decisions made. Throughout our nation's history, restrictions on who could vote demonstrate just how important those in power think voting can be. Even after emancipation occurred, many southern states attempted to prevent African Americans from voting using Jim Crow laws and other legal tricks. These leaders did not want to give blacks the chance to elect a candidate that might institute social reform. Women were also denied the right to vote until women's suffragists campaigned and won the right to vote. Even today, women's rights issues such as abortion take center stage in election campaigns. Now, some people don't vote because they don't believe their vote will make a difference. They think that they are just one voice in a sea of many. However, if everyone thought that way, the democracy that we cherish would fall apart since no one would vote. Furthermore, if only a small minority of people voted, such as the elderly, the rich, or the impoverished, the true voice of the people in our great country would not be heard. Therefore, I believe it is important for Americans to get out and vote for the greater good of our nation. Even if you don't believe your vote will make an immediate difference or any difference at all, you should still vote because the practice of voting is a huge part of what makes the system work. Politics in our nation is constantly changing. Political climate shifts, and your vote for a candidate that you believe in will add to the total number of votes that a particular candidate receives. Even if your chosen politician does not win, your vote can still speak volumes about your feelings regarding a politician and the ideals he campaigned on. If Americans had not stood behind presidential and congressional candidates and voted their conscience, recent changes to health care and future changes to the Supreme Court may have had a totally different impact on the way Americans live in the most personal, private, public, and important ways. So regardless of your feelings regarding current American politics, it is important to get educated on the upcoming political elections facing our nation. Wisconsin's next set of important congressional elections will be held on September 4th of 2010 and again in November on November 12th of 2010. I'm going to be voting, and even if you don't want change, even if you want change, it's important that you get out, you vote, and make a difference in this important nation. Thank you. This is my family. They're here to support me, and they're here for the 5 members that I do need for my speech today.